Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the pinning ceremony of the class of 2019 from Merritt College. We would like to welcome each and every one of you, friends, families, partners, lovers, and anyone else who has been supportive for these hard-working, tired, exhausted, excited, ecstatic young men and women of our graduating class. So thank you all very much for coming. As we get started, I'd like to make a few introductions. The first being our president, who is Dr. Elaine Burns, and she would like to spend a few minutes speaking with you. So let's give a welcome and an applause for Dr. Burns.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Good morning. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administrators of Merritt College, we welcome family, friends, and supporters of our new nursing graduates. I want to say to the graduates, as I say to everyone, hear me again tomorrow night, we are so proud of you. You're right, this thing is kind of, okay. We're so proud of you. We know the hard work it's taken for you to get here. Sometimes you probably thought, I don't know, may not make it, but you persevered. And that's one of the most important things to always remember as you go through life. Perseverance means so much. We know that we will have shortcomings. We fail at a lot of different things, but it's how you look at it. And it's not how many times you fail, but it's what? How many times you get up, how you get up, don't wallow in it too long, get up and keep on moving. And now you've got an experience that you've had here at Merritt College that tells you, you've built character, you've built strength, you've seen obstacles, and you said, forget those obstacles, I can do better. I can achieve what I set my mind out to achieve. Without a goal, it's just a dream. You may as well just go back to sleep. So even though you've completed, and today you're going to be pinned, and you're going on to do great things out in the community, you're going to continue to make Merritt proud as you are your family, friends, and supporters. Make yourself proud. And always remember and never forget that we are here to support you even after you leave. If you need us, call us. If you need us, stop by. We're here for you. We're here for your future. We don't just give you a degree and kiss you off. If you need us, come back. So whatever you're going to do, whether you're going on for a BSN, whether you're going straight into the world of work, remember that you have what it takes. And just always draw on that. Every time some bump in life faces you, and say, I've been there before, but I know I can move on. And also, never forget to thank those who supported you. Some of you folks had to support you. Sometimes some of you have children, and you didn't get to spend all the time you wanted to because you had to study. But you are a role model for those children, for those younger brothers and sisters. Actually, for parents and brothers and sisters and all of those folks, because once they see that you made it through, it gives light, it gives hope to all the others that are out there. So thank them for supporting you. You weren't always able to wash those dishes, clean the house, do whatever, but it was worth it, and they appreciate it. So remember to thank them, because we never get through life by ourselves. There's always someone that lifts us up. And I want you to really thank these people here We have an outstanding team of faculty, of nurses. We are number one in the state. We rise high in the state every year, our nursing department does. And we're very proud of them. And we're very glad that you've had an opportunity to experience the state's best. And this is the state's of California's best faculty, nursing faculty and staff. So thank them as well. So with that, I wish you well. Congratulations. Again, Merritt College is so proud, as everyone else is, of you. So let's just give them another round of applause.
Thank you very much, Dr. Burns. So behind the scenes are also several other people that are also here today that I need to recognize and to thank for their support. Among those are our dean, who is Dr. Rick Ramos. Rick, okay. Thank you very much for all your support. We also have Dr. David Johnson, who is the Vice President of Instruction. Dr. Johnson. And also we have our Dean from Division 2, Mr. Jason Holloway. I know I saw Jason here somewhere. Anyway, so we'd like to thank those individuals because they're not always present. The students don't always see them, but they're also part of the faculty here at the college that helps support our program and what we're doing. I forgot to tell you, my name is Lynn Bratchen. I'm a faculty member here. I'm an assistant program director, and I'm also your MC for these festivities today. Okay. So, we as faculty wanted to, again, thank you all for your support, for all of, as Dr. Burns said, everything that you put up with over the last however many years it has been. You're not seeing these individuals, you're not getting to spend time with them, they couldn't go places with you, they couldn't have fun with you because they were always doing some care plan or doing some clinical or studying for some test. So we as faculty would like to thank you all very much because quite frankly, without your support, without your help, without your assistance, this journey today would have been much more challenging than it has been for them. So again, we'd like to thank you exceptionally. Thank you for your support. So let's talk for a minute about the pinning ceremony, because we have a pinning ceremony for nurses and we have a graduation for the college. And many people don't know, why do you have two things? What's that about? So I figured I'd take a minute to kind of tell you a little bit about this ceremony. Basically, the pinning ceremony is something that is kind of set up for the faculty, older nurses, to welcome in new nurses into the profession of nursing. It's been around since probably the 17th century. It actually started with the Maltese cross. They actually gave it out to people back at that time who took care of diseases like leprosy and syphilis, other chronic skin disorders. And so they would give it out to that order, the Order of Sovereignty and the Knights of the Hospitalier. And so they would give those crosses out to these people for the service that they would provide. Over time, the pin actually started to become and is the foundation or the ancestor of the family cross. Many families have family crosses in their generations. So from that cross came the nursing pin. And the nursing pin was given to those nurses who basically were educated, who showed experience, who showed compassion to go out and to care for the sick, the ill, the deaf, and the dying. And so today, fast forward today, the pinning or the pin itself is a representation of really the school and the affiliates of the school. And many nurses in their practice on their uniforms to this very day still wear those pins, because they're proud. They're proud of the work, they're proud of the time, the energy, the education, the changes they've made in their lives to get to this place of where they are today. So, I have one last thing I wanted to sort of talk to you about before we kind of got this party started. Okay? Graduation. Graduation is an event that gives a diploma. So after these nurses have received, these graduate nursing students have received their pin, they will have the graduation. And the graduation is where the actual diploma is awarded to them. So at that point, they now then become graduate nurses. Okay. And that is today why we are here to celebrate them. The next person that I would like to introduce has been a longtime instructor here. She's worked very diligently and very hard over time. She earned her doctorate degree several years ago. We're very proud of her. And she is actually going to be our faculty speaker for today, and that is Dr. Megan Talbot.
Thank you, Mr. Bratchett. Good morning and welcome to all of you. It's wonderful to see you here. I have the honor to speak to you this morning about our nursing graduates, whom we are so very proud of. Today we are celebrating a major milestone that you all have achieved. First, I would like to acknowledge our Director of Nursing, Dawn Williams, for her support and encouragement of the faculty and students, and our Assistant Director, Mr. Lynn Bratchett. Also an acknowledgement to the entire nursing faculty for their wisdom, intelligence, and passion in teaching our students to be the best they can be. Also, I want to recognize Ms. Waduda Karim and Ms. Usha Mortensen, our new program specialist, for always being available to assist our students. And of course, Mr. Tony Hampton, who we could not do without. And are you sure you can't stay, Tony? Ah, shucks. Family and friends, you are so dear and special to our students. Your unwavering encouragement, sacrifices, and support of these students has allowed them to be here today. They have all spoken of you lovingly and in appreciation on many occasions. Let me go this way now. On the first day of class, you were all asked why you wanted to become a nurse, remember? All of you mentioned some experience that you had had with a nurse that made you feel safe and secure. All of you have earned your place here today. By perseverance, prioritizing, and sacrifice, you have made it to this auspicious occasion. So what exactly is a nurse? A nurse is a caregiver, a patient advocate, an educator, a leader, a liaison, a change agent, an assessor, and hopefully a disruptor, meaning someone who tries to improve things. But mostly a nurse is on the front line of patient care. Nurses make things happen. Nurses are also storytellers. Traditionally, storytelling has been used for centuries to pass on wisdom. Storytelling is used in nursing to teach, empower, and reflect about our patients. You all have shared your poignant stories from clinical with us. Your first bed bath, your first physical assessment, your first medication pass, your first IV start. Now that makes me an RN. I've started an IV. For 2 students, there was an incident while caring for a woman in the intensive care unit. The students were talking and laughing with this woman and caring for her one moment, And then all of a sudden, she started to deteriorate, and ended up passing away right in front of the students. This was very traumatic for our students. They also had to wrap her in a shroud. Very difficult situation, but they did it. Another student shared that a child's mother came up to her and hugged her and thanked her tearfully for her excellent care. You all have seen and cared for all kinds of patients, from the sadness of those in pain to the joy of being at a birth. It is a very unique position to be in, very human. Many nurses, patients, and family members have complimented all of you. So what is the recipe for becoming a successful Merritt nursing student? You take one wide-eyed, enthusiastic student, add many days of skills lab training, fold in lots of challenging exams and assignments, saute in long nights of care plans only to discover your patient has been discharged the next day, but you continue to smile for your instructor. Drink lots of coffee, add 2 cups of determination, confer with fellow students on a regular basis, add a pinch of crying, 2 cups of laughter, stand on one leg and do somersaults. Oh, just kidding. Mix in critical thinking, determination, and confidence. Add a teaspoon of Kaplan. Pour it all into a pan and bake for 2 years. Turn out a well-done, stellar Merritt nursing graduate. The pinning ceremony is a rite of passage that symbolizes your readiness in the world to care for humanity in a professional manner. Every time you wear the pin, you will remember the faculty, the staff, and your colleagues of the Merritt nursing program that were part of your journey and your professional life story. The pin reminds you that from now on, your mission is threefold: to care, to advocate, and to lead. You are now a care provider to your patients, an advocate for your clients, and a leader in any setting you might find yourself in. In this ritual, you are becoming a part of the sisterhood and brotherhood of nurses. You have stepped onto a path that will take you to unknown places in your careers, in your global village, and most especially inside of yourselves. You will be called upon to serve the vulnerable, and through your service, to make a tiny part of the world that much better. You will wonder at times if you are making a difference, if your hard work really matters. You may never see the ultimate impact of your actions. Nevertheless, you will go about your days planting seeds wherever you go. And I believe in seeds. They have an inherent knowledge of how to put down strong roots and stretch up eager leaves and grow into who they are. Nursing school is a life-changing experience. Many of our students have returned to tell us that being in our program has helped them navigate through life using critical thinking. Research has shown that good patient outcomes are inextricably related to good nursing care. The patient's healthcare trajectory is directly related to the type of nursing care they receive. This is because nurses are with the patients more than any other healthcare provider. By graduating from Merritt College, you are in a position to significantly make a difference in the lives of your patients. Your instructors have challenged you to think critically, be acutely aware of your patients' changes, and to be champions of patient advocacy. We've encouraged and even demanded that you be the best you can be and to protect the health, safety, and rights of all patients. Gallup polls consistently find that people believe nursing to be the most ethical and honest profession. The trust that you establish between you and your patients is sacred, and this makes you accountable and responsible to them. I believe this gives us a special responsibility to guide decision makers and society to be more ethical, especially in public health. Look how far you have come, from not knowing what to say to a patient to caring for a 4-patient assignment. We have observed you in this program for 2 years. It is so gratifying to see how you've developed into confident, knowledgeable caregivers. You have learned to go to work with the intention to help your patients recuperate. You have the potential to be change agents in the healthcare system, and I hope that you will endeavor to be the trailblazers that we know you can be. Now that you have scaled one big hurdle, you will be preparing to take your NCLEX board exams and make progress in your professional career. My prediction is that you all will pass your board exam soon, and you will all make great strides going forward. As globalization continues, we realize that the world is becoming a smaller community every day. Technology, communication, and modern means of travel are creating tremendous social and cultural diversity and diffusion. You will find that both your patients and professional colleagues are increasingly diverse in age, sexual orientation, class, race, cultures, and languages. In your caring, you must be sensitive and respectful of differences and diversity. Celebrate diversity, for it is the one true thing that we all have in common. Whatever direction you decide to take, remember to keep your moral compass pointed in the direction of compassion, empathy, and caring. So how will you become a disruptor? How will you change the status quo? Perhaps you will spearhead a change in healthcare, invent something to make healthcare safer, or lead other nurses in maintaining quality patient care. Perhaps you will rally for better nursing conditions for nurses. The sky is the limit. One thing I do want you to remember is to use your voice. You have voices, and your voices can make the difference. Lastly, I want to remind you to take care of yourselves. Nursing is both physically and psychologically demanding. Be mindful of how you are feeling and what your needs are so that you can be the best for your patients. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Talbot. No truer words were spoken, right? Okay, the next person who gets to come up and talk is your class president. That's the tall guy over there on the right. And I would like to introduce Mr. Kaizan Grippin.
Well, good morning, or afternoon, as it might be at this point. My name is Kaizan, as stated earlier. I'm the president of the 2019 nursing class. Although frustrating at times, sometimes very frustrating, I can genuinely say that I am proud to be part of this class. It has been a long and challenging road for everyone sitting before you today. I don't know if you can tell, but the smiles you're witnessing here today encapsulate the cathartic release of 2 and 3 years worth of pent-up anxiety, stress, moral and philosophical questioning, disturbed sleep patterns, ravaged social lives, and endless crying sessions. But we stand and sit before you today as stronger and more knowledgeable individuals, and are determined to make an indelible mark on the field of nursing. Since starting nursing school here at Merritt, 2 important people in my life were diagnosed with cancer. A close friend of mine and my father. I can happily say that they're both still alive today. They're actually both here today. But with this experience, combined with the experience of 2 years of clinical rotations, I have learned a lot, and it has reinforced several key things, 2 of which I'd like to share specifically. The first is that of humanity and empathy. It is easy as nurses working with sick people day in and day out to lose sight of the humanity behind the work that you do. Doing anything for a living desensitizes you and can normalize certain behaviors. It's not a big jump to go from seeing a patient as human to seeing them as a poop-making machine that presses their call light too many times. It's not hard to get frustrated and irritable because of the stress of the job or due to the stress of life, and to have it negatively affect your patient care. It may be easy to lose your empathy when you have disagreements with the medical decisions that family members make about their loved one. It may be hard to empathize with someone who you feel like you disagree with on every level. And it can be easy to lose your patience with someone whose poor decisions have put them in their current poor state of health, and whose continued stubbornness makes everyone's life difficult. It is sometimes easy to lose our humanity and empathy. But I implore you to withhold judgment, to treat your patients as you would your good friend, your father, your mother, your grandparents, sister, brother, cousin, nephew, son, daughter, or anyone else that you love and care about, because that's who that individual is to somebody else. It is important to make sure that the things affecting us in our personal lives do not negatively impact the ones under our care. The second thing I'd like to share with you is the importance of acknowledging and realizing our mortality and the mortality of others. As humans, many of us realize that the one sure thing in life is death. Well, that and taxes, of course. That being said, a lot of us don't realize the truth and the inevitability of death, especially younger people. As I've gotten older, I've slowly realized that I'm not invincible, which helps explain some of the more reckless and stupid decisions that I've made in my life. And with this reflection and all the experiences I've accumulated up to this point in my life, I realize how easily and abruptly life can be taken away from any of us. I better understand the importance of being present when spending time with loved ones and telling them how important they are to you, to appreciate their generosity and be able to forgive their shortcomings, to embrace their love even if it's displayed in the most embarrassing way possible, and to laugh at their jokes even if their jokes totally suck. And with that, I would like to say that I love you, Akio, Mark, Noriko, Rule, Ami, Ben, and Chris, for your support and continued belief in me, despite your better judgment. And by extension, our class thanks all of you, friends, family, and loved ones, for all of your support, whether it be emotional, physical, social, intellectual, or, of course, most importantly, financial. You have been there for us through arguably one of the most arduous journeys that we have had to endure. And for that, we are truly grateful, so thank you. I'd also like to thank the staff and faculty. Without you guys, we would not be here today. With your guidance and generous displays of both kindness and tough love, we are more knowledgeable and prepared for the realities of nursing. For that, we are truly appreciative. Thank you. I get to talk to you guys. As for the graduating class of 2019, I'd like to thank all of you for embarking on this stressful, rewarding, torturous, fun, and epic journey with me. Thinking about the daily grind of nursing school, it felt like an eternity to get to our graduation. Yet, as I stand before you today, it felt like it happened so fast. As I reflect on my experience at Merritt, I would definitely describe it as challenging. Yet many of you have traversed the difficulties of this program under much more difficult circumstances. Some of you have juggled work with school, raising kids with school, dealing with difficulties in your personal lives with school, or a ridiculously long commute with school. And some of you have experienced a combination of these things. I'm sincerely happy to be part of a class as hardworking, intelligent, and goal-oriented as you guys, so thank you all. And with that, I would like to end with a beautiful haiku written by yours truly. Nursing school was hard. Many lovely memories. Now get a damn job. Thank you.
Thank you, Kazan. That was terrific. It's amazing. I can't count the number of times this semester that something one of these young men and women have said that has almost brought me to tears. And you all, many of you have seen that happen. So, and actually today was one of those days. Today's kind of it's a bittersweet day. We're very proud of you. We're very happy for you. And you got to change the world. We're counting on you too. And your speech today and the many conversations that I've had with each and every one of you over the last 2 years lets me know, and I think it lets the faculty know, that you get it. That you will go out into the world and you will do the right thing for the right reasons. The next person that I would like to introduce is actually not here. Unfortunately, she could not be here, got stuck in the middle of the country in a tornado, but we did hear from her this morning, and we are going to see her and hear her via video. Her name is Dr. Michelle Pope. She is the Chief Operating Officer of the Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, which is one of the clinical rotations that the students go to during my rotation, which is mental health.
Happy pinning ceremony to all of you. My name is Michelle Pope, and I'm the Executive Director of Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay. I am unable to be there today because I am actually in Kansas City in the middle of storms and tornadoes and all of that. But through technology, I am able to join you. I want to thank the students for asking me to be a part of this important day, this fun day, this day that really matters. I'm looking now at the servant leadership checklist. And I want to go over this checklist with you because when you made the decision to become a nurse, you took on becoming a servant leader. What does that mean in the modern day of medical care and how we provide medical care, not only in our hospitals, but in our communities, clinics, and elsewhere? That means you had to go there to Merritt College and learn the science of nursing. You obviously learned those because you passed the test, and you are now able to be penned and go on to another test that will allow you to be called a nurse. But what does that really mean as you continue in your career as a nurse? It means you have to become a servant leader. I've put together this little checklist because I want you to understand what you've taken on. One, you have to always be self-aware. And what does that mean? You have to be aware of who you are, all of your biases, and everything that makes you the person that you are, so that when you walk into that room with that patient, with that family, that you know that you're there to serve, and you already know what comes up for you. And so you either put those biases and things on the shelf so that you can give good care and that you see the patient, that you can assess that patient. You also have to be humble. Serving other people requires us to be humble. Arrogance has no place in the medical field. It seems to have found its way there, but I'm happy to know with all of you going into the field that arrogance will one day be something that a doctor or a nurse will never have, because arrogance has no place in a medical setting. You have to have integrity. Integrity is one of those things that seems to come and go in our culture. But integrity is something that you, as a nurse, going forward in your career, starting from this penning and going all the way to when you're serving in a hospital or whatever environment you choose to serve, you must have integrity. If you do not, then you need to find another career, because integrity is one of the building blocks of being a professional in the nursing or in medical field. You have to be result-oriented, because in your assessments that you're going to be doing with your patients, you're going to want to figure out what they need, and knowing in your mind that wellness and caring for this person, you're going to be looking for results. So be result-oriented, and be result-oriented in your own life as well. Learn that you have to constantly now become a lifelong learner. That's the fun thing about being in the medical field. It changes every day, but we have to learn every day, and we have to be willing to let go and change as we grow. You got to have some foresight when you're dealing or working in this environment. Foresight, not only what it means to work with a team, but foresight into what's happening and from second to second, moment to moment, in an emergency room, a med surge, or wherever you choose to take your time and talent. And listening, something that has become a dying art among us. We need to learn to listen. And listening means being intentional with that listening. And as I said in the orientation, if I can't see you, I can't hear you. And so you have to be close up with those patients to be able to listen and observe, and listen with peace and listen with quiet, so that your observation and assessment will be real, because it will be something that you heard from your patient. Don't abuse your intelligence or your authority or anything that makes you the person that is getting penned today. Don't abuse that. Be humble and understand that you can't abuse people just because you have power over them. You've got to find that place of equality, find that place where you can Know that you have authority because you have the intelligence and the foresight, but don't use it. Use the authority when it comes to putting the care plan together, but don't use that authority with me as a patient. Know that we are equals, and I'm depending on you to be the heart, the science, and the art. Also, use all of your intellectual abilities all the time. Use them. Know that you have learned some incredible things, and you wouldn't be sitting out there getting penned today if you weren't intelligent, magnificently wonderful people. But use that intellectual ability. Have the desire to learn more. That's why I'm here teaching a group of people who want to learn more about Alzheimer's and dementia. And they want to learn more because they want to get better at it every single day. And my hope for you, my prayer for you, is that you understand you will be learning until the day you die. And that's what makes life wonderful. And that's what will make your career something where you won't burn out. Be collaborative. I've walked into hospitals and seen teams of people that didn't know collaboration if it hit them in the face. But I know that you are a collaborative people because I've seen you at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay. Continue that collaborative spirit and don't let anyone take it away from you, because collaboration is the hallmark to innovation, and the medical field that depends on innovation, whether it be in the models of care that we come up with or just in the science of the care. I'm almost done. The other is joy. Find a place within your work where you can have joy, and then pass that joy on to your patients and your colleagues. Joy is something that it doesn't mean that you're running around like a comedian cracking up all the time. I hope you do have moments of crack up because they're good for the soul. But it does mean that you have a sense of humor and you don't take yourself so seriously, including everyone else around you. So have a sense of humor about things. It'll get you through, and it'll get you through those tough times when your career will be hard, because it will be. You'll have some rough days. Be trusting. And I don't mean so much trusting of your colleagues and the people around you, but you need to trust them, because in a medical environment, trusting the people that you work with is crucial to giving good care. But when I say trust yourself. Trust yourself. You've learned some things, and I know in the beginning it's going to be a little scary and you're going to question what you learned, but trust yourself. Because you wouldn't have got there if you didn't have the intelligence to get there. And lastly, remember that you've got to give back. I know so many people who have accomplished great things in their lives, and they never learn to give back. Today I learned on the news that there's a billionaire who paid off the tuition for all of the graduates of the 2019 class of Morehouse College. And when he was interviewed, he said he went to Morehouse, his family went to Morehouse, and he would not be a billionaire if the building blocks of what he learned at Morehouse had not been established through the relationships with the professors, students, and his time at Morehouse. And he wanted to make a difference. And what he said to those students is, pay it back. So, on your journey to this pinning day, you have had family, friends, professors, and all kinds of people get you to this point. Don't forget ever who you are, and don't forget that you have an obligation to pay it back. I'm sorry again that I could not be there with you. I hope that these words you will carry them throughout your day and throughout your career. And I hope that you will come back to ASEB at some time just to visit, to say hello, and let us know how you're doing. Again, Merritt College Nursing students, class of 2019, you rock. And I want to thank you for everything that you did when you came to Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay. I want to wish you a career that's filled with joy, mystery, excitement, and innovation. And I pray that some of you won't get caught in the hospital setting and that you will bring some of that time, talent, and treasure of the art of nursing to community-based nursing, because we need good community-based nurses. So I wish you nothing but joy, happiness. You're in my prayers. And as a minister, I have to say to you, we are all given a purpose in this life. We are all given the tools to live out that purpose. You are well on your way to living out your purpose. Do it with integrity, do it with joy, and do it like nobody else before you has ever done it. And I wish you peace. And again, come back and visit. And parents and faculty of Merritt College and friends that have joined these students today, give them an extra hug for me. And take care, be well, and I wish you nothing but peace.
That was pretty special. You guys have no idea how special you are, but maybe you do. Okay, now for some of the fun stuff. Okay, this next section of our ceremony is a little bit of a surprise. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to actually present some awards to some of our students. And doing that is our illustrious Dr. Mia Kelly, who teaches, as you heard earlier, she teaches nutrition and pharmacology, although she has kind of also moved on for better pastures at the district, but she still loves us and she still comes and works with us. So she will present you with awards. Dr. Kelly?
Good afternoon. It's a wonderful day, isn't it? So first I'd like to preface the awards ceremony with just saying that all of our students deserve awards, and they're all stellar. But each year, the faculty is tasked with selecting just a few, but the rest of our students as well are just excellent, as we know. The first award is called the Marion Patrika Tadlock Award. This is an annual district award given to a graduating nursing student. Marion Tadlock was a registered nurse, educator, wife, mother, and a responsible and active citizen in her community. The legacy she leaves is a world better for her professional competence, her responsibility to duty, her strong beliefs and ethical principles, and the warmth and vitality she shared with all she touched. The student chosen for this award demonstrates these qualities of nurturing, caring, clinical excellence, professional competence, and high ethical standards. This award goes to Andrew Chang. Unfortunately, I'm informed that Andrew is unable to be with us today, so I will accept this award on his behalf. And additionally, what I did not mention is that these awards come with a monetary gift as well, so I'm sure that'll be helpful. The second award is the Kaiser Clinical Excellence Award. An anonymous donor established this award and partnered with Kaiser Permanente in 1997. The graduating student chosen for this award exhibits the following characteristics: clinical excellence, excellent communication skills, an ability to work well with others, a sense of professionalism, and a dedication to nursing. We have 2 students that received this award. Fadila Jabir and Emily Wilson.
So, this is why we came here today. Next up will be the awards or the presentations of the pinning, and that will be done by Miss Donna Irving. Now, Donna runs our skills lab, so all of the skills, most of the skills, not necessarily all, but most of the skills that these students have learned, they've learned from Miss Irving in the skills lab. So they're very good at them too, because she's also very good. So I'd like to introduce the pinning of the class of 2019, Miss Irving. Audrey, roll down. Brenna Watt. It's okay. They put guards on these pins so they don't fall off your uniform, but sometimes it's hard to open them up. Emily Wilson. Fadila Jabir. Fiona Murphy. James Mickelson. Jenny Maganay. Jenny Se-Chang. Judith Valora. Faizan Gripman. Christina Pangal, I did it again. Christina Pang-Salinagan. Marina Zaplava. Marlena Lindsay. Megumi Surakara. Pena Hill. Rahel Mersha. Sachi Reeves. Senadu Tessima. Trimeka Provost. Provost Foreman. Shania Escobar. So let's congratulate these graduate nurses of 2019 for their win.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so proud of you guys. Just wanted to let you know that. Okay. Hopefully no one calls me on my phone. So if you can go ahead and repeat after me. I solemnly pledge in the presence of this assembly. As a professional nurse and patient advocate. To devote myself to those committed to my care. I shall maintain and promote. The health and dignity of all patients. And shall respond to the patient. As a unique individual. And as a whole person. I shall encourage patients. Their families and their community health team. To be involved in the planning. And implementation of care. I shall hold in confidence. All personal matters to my knowledge. With the understanding. Of my values and beliefs. I shall respect the personal values. And beliefs of others. I shall honor and continue to elevate. The standards of nursing. And shall endeavor to practice this profession. In great sincerity. According to its codes and its humanity. Thank you. You may blow out your candles. And congratulations once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Merritt College Class of 2019, the Associate